exactly. I actually have a caller who would like to ask you some questions. His name's Larry. I think he's on right now. This is Bonnie Ramthun. Go ahead.
Hey, Bonnie. Loved your book, Ground Zero.
Hi, you did great.
Yeah. Hey, do you think Bin Laden has nuclear capabilities?
I don't think Bin Laden is anything more than room temperature right now. My theory is he's dead, but I think Saddam Hussein has the bomb, and he's trying frantically right now to get a delivery system for it, which means a missile. So yeah.
Huh.
I think Bin Laden was working very hard on getting the bomb before he himself got bombed.
Your Arab terrorist is eerily like Bin Laden in your novel Ground Zero. What did you? How long was that written before the attacks?
Actually, Bin Laden bombed the World Trade Center in '93, and I was reading about that. I published the hardcover copy of Ground Zero in '99, so I used him as my model. I said,
Cool.
man, this Bin Laden guy is a real villain. He's this rich kid from a rich family who believes that if he can just bring down the superpower United States, that the Arab Empire will rise again and he will be this great leader. Total whack job. And,
Very eerie that you were able to, model your villain after him, and then, of course, 9/11 happened.
That was a scary time. Actually, what was really scary to me, in Ground Zero, my Bin Laden character, his name is Mualla. Mualla takes over a Russian missile silo in the former province of Uzbekistan and launches a nuke at the United States. That's part of the plot of Ground Zero. And I heard reports several weeks after 9/11 that Bin Laden was north of Afghanistan along the border of Uzbekistan.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, are you going to alter your writing style or, to not release certain books because of what happened on 9/11?
No. Tom Clancy wrote a book about an airliner slamming into the Capitol building.
Yes.
That was Debt of Honor. And he wrote that, 6-7 years ago? You could say that the terrorists might not have thought of that if he hadn't written it. But I think that it's not the responsibility of writers not to come up with ideas.
It's entertainment, you can't, like Collateral Damage with Schwarzenegger, you can't not produce that. It's fantasy, and, I don't see any reason to withdraw that or withhold that from the public just because of these events.
Yeah.
We just need to work on preventing these events from occurring. Do you have any other questions, Larry?
Just one more. If it was a battle between Captain Picard and Captain Kirk, who would win?
She already answered that one.
Oh, she did?
No, she did.
Oh, man, my friends and I have a bet.
Yeah, you better answer it again for him.
It's Captain Kirk.
Oh, no way! I'm out of here. Bye, Bonnie.
Bye, Larry.
Oh, boy.
I got a question for you, Bonnie.
Yeah.
When you guys were doing your simulations, did you do one with an offensive shield, like nuclear weapons launched from orbit that would hit Russian targets quicker instead of boosting them up and over?
Actually, what we worked on as far as space-based were defensive weapons.
No, nothing offensive?
No, nothing offensive. Of course, the rumor that ran wild in the conspiracy press was that the whole concept of missile defense was really that we were aiming out, not in.
Exactly, yeah, to save, because that's kind of the best defense if you can hit them while they're fueling or something.
Right. Actually, you could use a space-based missile defense to shoot down upcoming shuttles or downgoing alien spacecraft if you really wanted to. What the concept that we work with is basically a rock. And like Lyndon Johnson said, you drop a rock from a highway overpass, there's a lot of force involved. You can do a lot of damage.
Kinetic weapon.
Right, it's a kinetic weapon.
I just use that word because Tom doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I know potential kinetic stored in energy and motion. I don't know.
Right, so a kinetic weapon is just basically a rock thrown real hard. If you throw a rock at a nuke and you hit it, it's not going to go off. In fact, it's never going to go off because, again, nukes are real fragile. In order to create the splitting of the atom, to create the nuclear explosion, everything has to go exactly right, exactly perfectly. So if you hit it with a rock, you may get a big hunk of plutonium in your backyard, but you're not going to have a nuclear explosion that's going to kill it.
I thought get a piece of the rock was some kind of insurance thing, prudential.
Imagine a big piece of plutonium in your backyard. Okay, EPA.
Get a piece of the plutonium. I don't know.
The reason we use brilliant pebbles, or the concept of brilliant pebbles,
I was going to mention brilliant pebbles.
Rocks floating up there in space, was so that you shoot the missiles down over the country of origin. So they get the plutonium, or they get the Ebola, or the sarin gas, or whatever kind of
Or the
nasty they have on
smallpox.
board.
Smallpox. Is that going to happen? Are we going to get? I've never had chickenpox as a child, and I'm frightened.
He needs to go get the
scared
shot.
to death, guys. But
And you have 4
here's an
kids.
interesting tidbit from the WarGaming biz. Remember the thermobaric bomb they've been talking
Yes.
about?
No, I can't say I do, but Brian knows, so yes.
I keep up on all this techno geek kind of stuff.
It's techno geek extreme. They have a new bomb that they're using in Afghanistan right now, and it's an incendiary, oxygen-consuming bomb. So you drop it outside a cave complex. It basically consumes with fire to a certain radius, and then sucks all the oxygen out of the cave and suffocates anybody who's in there. Pretty cool. How come we developed it? Because if you drop a big, nasty bomb on a bioweapons facility, let's say in Iraq,
Oh, yep.
you blow dust and potential biohazards into the air. So what you want is you want to consume utterly that facility without blowing it up.
Completely melt it down.
You want to melt it down. Guess why we dropped the thermobaric bomb in Afghanistan?
Why?
To test it, to see if it works.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
And
Hey,
to find out whether it
Al-Qaeda.
works on caves, too, at the same time.
Al-Qaeda, we're going to run a little experiment, okay? You stay in that cave.
Now that wasn't like Al-Qaeda Kalen then, was it? Sometimes I feel like I'm in science class and I'm kind of like zoning out, trying to like, I don't know, some of this is so far above me, but yet you've been able to make it so clear to me.
Oh, well, thanks. I try to be entertaining.
No
Talking
problem,
about
and
you.
you succeed.
It was my job for a long time.
So what about this movie, Enemy of the State? Can they really do what they do in that film? Am I Will Smith? Are they watching me from satellite, millions of, or thousands of miles above?
Yeah, but you know what? It's true the technology is there, but what it all boils down to is one bureaucrat or a couple of bureaucrats sitting in an office building trying to sort through all of that crap.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's not enough manpower to go through all the information that's coming in?
Yep.
And that's
in
why
fact, they had Al-Qaeda messages talking about the September 11th bombing.
Right.
That once they translated them, they figured out that they knew ahead of time. But it just got lost in all of the paperwork.
Too much information.
So
yeah,
bureaucracy
Isaac Asimov
ruined
called it
everything.
the crisis of the bookkeeper.
Wow.
How do you sort this information?
Yeah.
So that's similar to what happened about the Muhammad Atta getting the visa 6 months after he plowed into the building.
Exactly.
Should they just fire everybody? Okay.
Yeah.
Fire
I think we should run the country.
I mean, that
we
could
can do
not
that.
have been worse, could it?
No. Sorry, we're pressed for time, but your first book was Ground Zero, is that correct?
That's right.
And a great book. I had a chance to read a few chapters. And then Earthquake Games.
Earthquake Games. You can get them online, of course, on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. Or go to
Yeah,
your local
That's
bookstore.
Tom's favorite place.
I've actually, on our website, www.notveryfunny.com, I've linked to your website that's under construction right now,
Yeah, well, we're working
BonnieRamthun.com.
on it.
Okay. Earthquake Games is your second book. Do you have a third book in the works?
It's done, but it's in negotiation for publication. Publishing works very slowly. But it's
Okay.
going to be out there probably within the next 6 to 8 months.
Well, if you're looking for somebody to leak it to the public, you can contact us, Tom and Brian at notveryfunny.com, and we can, give some preview chapters
Excellent.
to try to generate some interest in this, because I really love what you do,
Thank you.
and I think you're a great author and a great guest.
Thanks so much. You guys were great.
You're very
Thanks.
welcome. I've actually, before we go, you talk a lot about MIRV missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Merv Griffin missile, or is there a Mike Douglas missile out there? That's what I need to know.
I had to tell him what that was.
Yeah, I didn't know what that. Briefly, can you describe what the MIRV missile is?
Multiple
Out of my chest.
exoatmospheric re-entry vehicle.
Wow.
In other
I
words,
pulled a muscle
one
listening.
nuke splits into many. And the many nukes are all real small
Mhm.
and very hard to hit.
So MIRV missiles are hard to hit
After they've
After they
merged.
separate, yeah.
after
as
they
we like
MIRV.
to say. Yeah, they're hard to hit. So we like to get them in the boost phase, or as the guy from Long Island used to say that worked with us, we got to shoot down the boostas.
The boostas.
The boostas. That's a great one.
Yes, and the people from California said we have to shoot the gangstas.
The gangstas.
Well, anyway, thank you for being on our show, and I would really appreciate it if you would come back.
I'd love to.
And maybe, do you ever get down to the Florida area?
Oh, I could do that.
We'd love.
I live in Colorado. It
Yeah.
sounds like paradise there right now.
Exactly, it's paradise every day. It gets annoying.
Yep. If I'm down that way, you will see my face.
Great.
I would love that, and we could perhaps get you in studio.
That'd be great.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, and
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
have
All right,
a great day. Bye bye. Well, that was Bonnie Ramthun.
Cool.
She actually was kind of funny, but I didn't want to push her too far because I didn't want to lose this gold mine that we've tapped upon. Future
Our
guests.
agent.
Our agent. It's not our agent. It's their agent.
Well,
And he's soliciting other guests.
How much did you get paid for that?
I hope we don't have to pay anything for that.
No, how much did you get paid?
We didn't get paid
we didn't
anything.
get paid anything.
We just see it's our goal to inform and entertain people, and we need to tell our audience that Merv Griffin is out there and he's angry
Still.
and he's hard to hit. We have 4. Oh man, I thought it was over. We have 4 minutes left. I've just been informed. What are we doing?
Oh, well, let's see.
I wanted to ask her about Mothman.
Any good conspiracy theory? I got,
Do you remember the movie Conspiracy Theory
sure.
with the bald Captain Picard?
Yes.
Yes, and Julia Roberts. Do you remember that one, Larry?
Oh,
You did
yes,
very well.
Vaguely.
You did
yes.
very well as a caller. I think she
thank
bought
you.
it. Hopefully she doesn't hear this.
Yeah, did you ever think after you said your website 20 times, she might actually click on it to hear the show?
No,
Well,
nobody ever goes to the website.
You're actually on the phone right now. But the clarity is unbelievable. But anyway, there's a movie called Mothman. Did you know about that?
Yes.
With Richard Gerbil Gere?
No, it's not.
It should be called Gerbil Man, I think.
No.
No, you don't believe me? There's a Mothman movie.
And he's going to be in it?
Yes. He's
Brian,
the
it was
star.
released about 2 months ago.
Sorry. I
What's
wasn't-
funny is Larry is always Mr. Movie. He's always out there at the theater. And I'm like, well, I saw War Games the other day for the first time. And he always gives me such flack about that. I don't go to movies. You know why I don't go to the theater?
Because you stopped watching TV
In
98?
1988.
No, that's not quite right. Because I go there and I have old men behind me grunting and like
What kind of movie is
yelling, saying that's not funny,
Yeah,
and
you-
chewing things very loudly in my ear,
Going to the wrong movie.
smacking, and then I have the kids who are pounding my chair with their feet. That's not a movie making
You got to stop
experience
going
for
to
me.
those G movies.
Well, I saw Cinderella 2, and I just am never going out again.
Wasn't that a straight-to-video?
Well, no, I saw it in the theater.
Oh.
In the brief moment before it went straight to video.
Oh, okay.
But, Mothman is a movie about, X-Men, X-Files kind of thing. It's about a bunch of people in West Virginia seeing lights and men in the sky
That
with wings
fly.
flying.
Yeah.
Too much fire water is what I say. But, Richard Gere, I'm not happy with him either because he made a comment about, well, we need to treat the Al-Qaeda as a sick relative. We need to nurture them and give them kindness. That's how we're going to cure terrorism. And I'm sure they're going that we're going to be kind to Richard Gere when we string him up by his testicles. Anyway, let him go over there and try to give them kindness and treat him like a sick relative.
It's Gerbil Man.
We'll see what happens to Richard Gere. And he's not my favorite actor anyway, so
I guess not.
we could lose him. He's disposable. So anyway, thank you to Larry for sitting in.
You're welcome.
And thank you to Brian for being here.
Every month.
As usual, you're the old standby. Thank you to DJ Eddie, or Sit By, for being here to input his musical genius. We hope to hear more from him. And thank you to the fly on the wall who's taking part in this and documenting it for the paper.
Shalice not.
The News Press, the world's finest newspaper, I get all my information from the news press. Love it. I sleep with the news press tucked under my pillow. So we're done. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night and enjoy the St. Patty's Day weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Get a nigga, get a table dance.